Hey guys, today we're going to be assembling the Windsor designed 60-inch 4-drawer hardwood workbench. This comes from Harbor Freight Tools, and it's part number, here at the top you see it, 63395. We bought this actually months ago. It's still in the box. Time has come for me to set it up. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to read the instructions, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. And you won't have to read the instructions. You just follow my demonstration as I go. So there it is, and I don't have a big work area here. I've cleared out the floor. This is actually our soap room. Wife's got some soap stacked up there on the counter. So we're not going to be using a workbench in the typical sense out in the shop or the shed or the garage. It's going to be part of our soap room setup because we just need more space to work. Well, the first step, of course, is to open a box, see what we got. So let's get on with that. All right, pretty good. I may use the top of this box as a workspace. Just work right here. Top of this cardboard. Protect the floor a little bit. Ah, styrofoam. I absolutely hate it. Won't let my kids get near this, so just make an absolute mess with it. I'll get out to the trash without any delay. Well, here's our instructions. Oh yeah. Warnings. Alright, set up before use. Read entire safety information. I'll do that for you, don't worry. I'll get familiar with what we have. The parts and pieces. Our hardware. I'll set myself up a place where I have got room to work. And unpack it all. And then we'll do what we need to do, step by step. All right, we have successfully accomplished stage one, which was to open the carton, remove all the pieces. I've got them around the room in different places, and we've created a workspace where we can do what we need to do. I've got some of the pieces up on my desk here. And I want to draw your attention also to the hardware kit that comes with the workbench, and you've got your pieces. They're all labeled as numbers, and if you're looking at the instructions, it tells you what hardware you need for each place. I also wanted to show you that a lot of the pieces of a lot of the components are labeled with letters, like this cross member right here that we're going to use very early on is labeled with the letter F. Can you see that? So yeah, it really doesn't appear to be that complicated. All right, so let's go with the next step, which is to assemble. These legs, the sides, come pre-assembled to a large degree, which is nice. There's two of those, the one for the right side, and this here will be the one for the left side. So it's AL. L would be for the left. So he's going to be on that over there, and that's the right side, and it's labeled AR. And we're going to take AR, the side, and this cross member F, and we are going to connect it right down here to the right side, and also to the left side at the other end. And the hardware we need for that are these nuts and bolts right here. And so you can unscrew 2 of these. And at the other end of these bolts, the connector is it's a hex fitting, or an Allen key. One is supplied with the hardware kit right here. This little tool is fine. It can be a little hard to work with, and I have another set of Allen keys or hex keys like this guy here, and I just think he's going to be a lot easier to work with. So I'll show you what we're doing. It might be advisable to have a helper with you for this step, which of course I don't. And we'll just have to give it our best shot, see if I can do this. Alright, so these bolts are going to come through this side right there. You see it sticking out? It's going to pass through the hole right here, and this bolt will be fitted right into here to receive it. So it's slotted, so you want the slot to go horizontal, like so, to receive the bolt. And this piece F has a groove. You want that facing inward. Alright, so let's see if I'm able to get this started, or if I'll need to call a helper. So I got my hex key here, and I'll see if it starts. No. Hey Pooch, you want to help me?
Sure.
I got a helper right here. This is great. Just go to the end of this board and hold that up a little bit.
Okay.
The one's on the ground. Yeah, just hold it up like that. And I'm trying to start the screws down this end. And it's always a little easier. Somebody's helping. Alright, so I got that one started. So I'm going to put this in, the second one in. Alright, Poots, focus on holding it nice and straight.
Okay.
Huh?
We have a kitty cat.
The slot has to be horizontal, so maybe I need to turn that.
You like me when you're ahead.
Now I got it.
Are you done?
Alright, I'm not going to tighten it completely all the way. Leave it a little bit loose. Oh boy, I'm getting all kinds of helpers today.
Come on, Luke. Lulu.
Hairy ones.
Come on. This is not hairy.
Alright, so that guy's in but loose. And now I'm going to do the same thing down the other end where my daughter's holding it. It's the exact same thing, except it's the opposite side.
Kitty. Lulu, get out of the way. You still need my help?
You can get up now. You've done great.
What are you making, Dad?
Workbench.
Oh, is that what you made? Kitty, hold on, baby.
Okay.
Can I
You
pause
alright?
it?
Alright, I got it that time. And so now I feel a liberty to tighten these down a little better on both ends. And now both sides will stay up on their own. Don't have to worry about them falling anymore. And once this step's done, your need for a helper will be greatly diminished because, you know, it's standing on its own at this point. And I'll tighten this down, and that step will be complete. And this kind of Allen key just is a whole lot easier to spin than the little one that comes with it.
Yeah, that we couldn't see that.
I already showed them.
Okay. That one.
All right, that part's done.
That's good. Looking good.
All right, so the next step involves inserting this bottom shelf and then attaching this second cross member. Now what I decided to try is to just connect it loosely at the bottom. Then I'll be able to slide the shelf in, theoretically, and it's supported by going in the groove on both sides. So let's see if we can get it in there, into the groove. And I've already decided what I probably should do is not completely tighten these down yet, because it's a little too tight to get the shelf in. So I'll just loosen this guy a little bit. Give us a little bit more room to squeeze that in there. I'm okay. Alright. And then flipping it up here. And he goes in this groove here. Like that. Carefully. And now I can tighten these down a little bit better. Tighten these a little bit more now that the shelf is in place. All right. And yeah. Tighten this guy, and that should kind of start pulling it all together. All right, got to add the top bolt and nut on both sides. All right, he's started. And then just snug them down. Snug this guy down. Great job, that step's complete. Our next step calls for taking the tabletop and laying it face down on a padded surface. That's why I'm glad that I put my cardboard down. Now, the instructions talk about being careful about orientation, front and back and all that. So, and it says that the pieces are marked front, but I don't see that anywhere. So let me talk to you how to make sure we don't screw this up. So there's the piece we already assembled, the sides, right? So this is the front here. I know that because of the way the hardware is on these drawers. So this is the drawer stop at the back. So the drawers enter this way. So I know this is the front. All right, so take the tabletop, and this step includes securing this piece to it. But lay it down here, front to front. Okay, so I know this is the front because it has this mechanism here on the right side for the vise. I have no vise. I'm as pure as the driven snow. Yeah, well, you drifted. All right, so put the vise to the right like that, and then so what that means is now this is the front side. It's upside down, but this is the front, and this is the front. And in the next step, we're going to flip these legs over upside down onto the table. And if you follow me closely, everything will be oriented correctly. All right, so now we've got to install that piece in the middle. So again, you don't want to put it in backwards, so follow me on this. It's 2 holes here, and the dowel pins on the bottom of this will fit in. So do it like this with the front facing this way. That's the black part. The white here would be the stop. So we're going to have that towards the back. So stick it in, the dowel pins in those holes. Alright, so this is the front, and when we flip the legs over on top of this, this piece will be oriented correctly. Because otherwise you'd put it in this way and it would be wrong, it'd be backwards. I think this is going to do it for us. So get those in the dowel pins. Then you use the 6 screws to screw it in. Use the short ones, they're about 1 inch long. There's some longer ones, you don't want to use the long ones. You're going to use the short ones. Now instead of a screwdriver, I got this drill and a nice long bit. It's going to make my life a little bit easier. You might have one too. Yeah, so you want to use the short screws because you don't want to go through the tabletop. You want to go with the long ones. So, and then 3 on this side. Now probably what I'll do is take a hand screwdriver, Phillips head, and just verify by hand that they're tight enough. I don't want to go nuts with the power tool. See how that feels. Yeah, that feels about right. Okay, that part's done. Good. All right, so our next step will then be to take that tabletop, the legs, flip it upside down on top of the inverted tabletop. So let me try that. Yeah, this would probably be a time to have another assistant. But I'll try to be careful. It wasn't too bad. Like so. So it's upside down, and you can see now that we did it correctly because the drawer sliders are all facing in the same direction, which is exactly what we wanted. So we got that correct. Our job now is to secure the legs to the tabletop, and we do this again with it in the upside down, you know, inverted position. And this is where we're going to use the long hardware, the longer 50mm long screws, these guys right there. And there are 3 holes where we're going to insert those. And maybe a bit challenging because it's not like I can use the drill because it's the Allen key again. So it might be a bit of a challenge getting them in, but I think we'll be okay. And there's pilot holes drilled here, here, and here, so it shouldn't be too hard of a job to get them to go in. At least we hope not. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Let's get them all started. Almost don't have room to spin my Allen wrench, in which case we'd have to resort to that other one. But so far so good. See if I can get that third one going. Now, just to get a little bit more leverage than I feel I'm getting, I am going to try the, just torque it down a little bit harder with the Allen key that's provided with the set. So I got more room to swing this thing. Yeah, just a little bit tighter than I could get it otherwise. Okay, that's done. Do the same on the other side, the other leg, and that step will be complete. The next step also has the workbench still upside down, and we're going to install this cross brace letter H. And it's got a notch here, which is going to be right on here. And it's got a couple of screw holes through the sides to which we're going to use some of the 25mm. They're like 1-inch screws right here and here to fasten it. So again, those are Phillips head screws, and it looks like there's a couple of places for screws in the middle here also, although the instructions don't seem to mention that for some reason. These do not have any pilot holes drilled, so you kind of want to do your best to center it up, and you won't have the advantage of having any pilot holes drilled for you. So you're doing it the best you can. And that was easy enough to drive in with just a Phillips head. I didn't need the drill for that. Whatever works for you, I guess. All right. So two also down the other end, and 2 in the middle, and that should be it. We'll be able to turn the bench. See, these are the 2 that I was talking about. here in the middle. Probably get those as well. Okay, let's set the bench upright. Possibly a two-person job, but I think I might be able to handle it. Right. Well, that's starting to look like something, isn't it? So what's nice about this now is we've assembled enough of the bench that we can start using it for some of the remaining things that we have to assemble. All right, so they want you to install this vise next. Not sure if this is a feature of much value to us for what we're doing, but you do it by removing this Phillips head bolt and the washer from the end of the threaded rod for the vise. Then we're going to come over and slide the vise into its location, these three holes here, and you're going to turn the vise to pull it all the way in. So we're turning. Once we have it all the way in, then we'll be able to, once we have it all the way in, then we'll be able to replace that nut and bolt and washer that go on the end of it. That will keep it in, keep it from falling out if you ever open the vise too much. Now I'm asking myself, do these go up or down? I guess they go up, right? For some dowels, if you wanted to. Yeah, that only makes sense to me. All right, so winding it back in. Handle fell off. Not much holding this handle in except these caps. Like I said, I don't see this. Oh, there it goes again. I don't see this vise as being of that much practical value, at least in what we're doing. Alright, that's all there is to that. I'll crawl under and put this back on. Our next step will be to install the drawer handles, the drawer pulls, on part Q, which is the front of each of the 4 drawers. So the handles come in a separate bag marked U, and the bolts for that are also in the bag. Would be 2 per handle. So the groove is obviously the inside of the drawer and the bottom. So when we put the handle on, we want to make sure we put it on this way. So the groove's at the bottom, not like this, or they'll be on upside down. So let's see how challenging that is. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Line that up there. Start it by hand. Start the next one. Tighten it down. And there's the front of the drawer. So we'll do that for all 4 of them. And that step will be completed. Our next step is to continue assembling all 4 drawers. We already did the face and put the handle on it. So let's lay that here. Set that here. And then you're going to, for each drawer, you're going to find one side that's labeled SR. It's got the hardware slider on it. And one that's labeled SL, left and right. So we've got the groove at the bottom, down at the bottom. And this is going to also need to be at the bottom, because that's where the bottom of the drawer is going to fit. And it's got a hole, couple of holes here. They got pilot holes right here. That's going to be just like that. All right, and then we got to use a couple of those 1-inch screws to secure it. And with pilot holes drilled, I don't think we'll need the drill really. We can probably just do this with a regular Phillips head screwdriver. Start that one. Start that one. And tighten them down. Okay, then flip it around. And we'll do the exact same thing on this side. So one should be the mirror image of the other. Start that one. Start the bottom one. And drive them in all the way. Now, I can't put the back on until we have the bottom. So we're going to get the bottom next. We'll do the bottom and the back of the drawer as part of the same step. So here's the packet of, sorry, kicked you. There's the bottom, here's the packet of the drawer bottoms, part number T. Let's just take one. It's a felt lined drawer. Kind of nice, I guess. And we'll slide that guy right in there. Now I want you to notice that there's 3 holes, and I'm pretty sure they go to the back of the drawer, not the front. So slide him in. Get him all the way in there. Good, and now we're ready to put on the back. The back of the drawer is, the drawer back panel is part R. And it's got a couple holes that we screw in right here, and that also has pilot holes, so they should be pretty easy to install and to insert. 1, 2, same on this side. All right. Now you flip the drawer over, and interestingly, the instructions don't say anything about this step, but it only makes sense to me to secure the sliding drawer bottom in place with these couple of screws. So I think I want to do that. There are no pilot holes drilled for this. That went in pretty well. Another one. There. This is a scenario where it actually might be a little bit faster to use the drill. Screw it in. Like so. Alright, so this drawer is completely done. Okay, that's one of 4 drawers. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the other 4 drawers in the same fashion as we did this one. Well, now we're going to insert the drawers, and you want to go down and make sure these sliding tracks, can you see that? In each of these are in the forward position. So slide those forward. These are all forward. Okay, just make sure they're forward. Now we can slide the drawers in. Feels a little stiff. All right, excellent. This is the home stretch, people. The final step, in my opinion, is really an optional one. They have these pegs. I don't know, what do they call them? Wooden pegs. If you need them for whatever, I don't see us, and these anvil pegs. And different places on the board you can use them. I don't see them being much value for what we're going to be doing. So I think I'm just going to put these here in the drawer and save the instructions for later reference. And there we go. Our job's done. It's a nice little workbench. I hope those that demo is of help to you as you put yours together. It really wasn't that bad of a job. Thank you for watching, and I would appreciate hearing from you in the comments, your questions, and yep, great. See you later. Bye-bye.